Hello and welcome to the Nintendo Direct, which is starting in about an hour. It's starting in like 50-ish minutes. So yeah, we are up. We are up early, at least here. Not that early. It's like 8 a.m. here. There are definitely people who are up earlier to see this. Like I think God, if you're in like California right now, if you're on the coast, West Coast, it's pretty damn early right now. Fortunately, I'm in Texas, so it's Central Time, and so it's only 8 a.m. here, so I'm not dying. However, if you are to the west of me, you're probably in rough shape. It's probably pretty damn early for you. I have this weird piece of hair that's just hanging down. I don't know why. Anyway, imagine they announced Lost Odyssey alongside Fantasian. There are still people in the house sleeping right now. If they announced Lost Odyssey alongside Fantasian, it would be really unfortunate for them. And the reason I say that is because I'd be screaming so loud. They're all gonna they're gonna certainly wake up and it's not gonna be a very pleasant thing for them to experience. So I hope for their sake that that Lost Odyssey is not. No, 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 just my girlfriend and our roommate. Um Manifesting Tactics remaster, don't forget they are doing a special live concert on the 20th. That's also a thing too. They're doing a special live concert for Tactics uh this month. I don't think that we're getting a Tactics announcement today though, but I do imagine that maybe it's close. I don't know. I feel like all the rumors have been for Final Fantasy IX remake, right? I feel like we haven't even gotten rumors for Tactics. I feel like Tactics has been almost off the radar. We on clown vibes this morning? We're on clown vibes every day. Are we finally gonna see Final Fantasy 16 on Switch? Final Fantasy 16 on Switch. Bro, if you have Final Fantasy 16 on Switch, that thing would blow up. It'd burn. It'd catch on fire. That shit would be gone, bro. You want to experience FF16 on Switch? It's easier to just set your Switch on fire. It's the same thing. Just buy a match and just like try to set it on fire or a lighter. Um, can you bring up Lost Odyssey and Fantasian thing? I saw an article yesterday about that Fantasian is coming to console through Square Enix. So essentially, what's happening is, to my understanding, based on the rumors, and I feel pretty confident this is correct because it's already kind of leaked through SteamDB. But what's essentially happening is that Fantasian is getting a console port, and through that console port, Square Enix is going to be publishing the game. So they're going to be the ones publishing the Fantasian console port, and essentially, because they're publishing it, it's kind of a big deal because it's kind of assumed, or it's not assumed. It does raise the possibility of if Square Enix could potentially publish ports of other Mistwalker games, and not only that, it also raises questions too because Mistwalker. Everyone's kind of wondering like what's gonna happen to Mistwalker, right? So, or not gonna happen to Mistwalker, but if Sakaguchi retires, or what Sakaguchi's next game is going to be, because Sakaguchi talked about retiring, then he says he wants one more game. So is that going to be published by Square Enix, right? Is Square Enix going to fund that? Because there's always someone funding Mistwalker's game. Mistwalker doesn't normally just make games with their own funding. Usually they're getting funding through someone else. So there's a lot of speculation. Let me raise my volume real quickly. How about right there? So there's a lot of speculation on what could be going on with Mistwalker and Square now that they're collaborating. And also, I think it's just exciting that Square and Sakaguchi are working together again. Right? That's really cool. You guys realize that this will be the first time that a Sakaguchi game has been published by Square in like 20 years? If you don't count like remasters, you know? So that alone is just kind of like an exciting thing to happen. Of course, we also have Sakaguchi's new game, which hasn't been announced yet. It's just been said that it's a dark fantasy game. It seems like that title was really inspired by Shadowbringers in particular. Because after Sakaguchi played Shadowbringers, he was like, oh my god. That was just like the moment that he just like he was just like this is peak. And I agree. I've talked about this before that Shadowbringers is like my favorite story in Final Fantasy, like period. I don't think too many things top it for me. It's anyone who's experienced Shadowbringers, excuse me, knows what I'm talking about. Where that story is just like the apex of FF like storytelling. Last collab with him playing FF14 with Yoshida would be Terra Battle crossover with 15. Yeah. Which, by the way, the Terra Battle crossover with 15 was like probably the best piece of crossover content that I've ever played. Like, I know that there's always like these little collabs and shit that companies do and then Square will do and stuff like that. But holy crap. That was like, it was really fun. And dare I say that Noctis and Sarah had more chemistry on screen than that was her name, right? It was Sarah. I forget the Terra Wars girl name. What was it? I want to say Sarah. Anyway, I probably had more chemistry than him and Luna on screen, if I'm honest. But that's because him and her were on screen together. And so, yeah. It did not have any business being that good. Okay, her name was Sarah. Okay, good. I was like, wait, did I just make that up? I couldn't remember. Um, Noctis had more chemistry with Lightning and the City of NT than he did with Luna. Yeah, pretty much everybody, right? Yeah. Kid Icarus Uprising HD? Is that rumored? Are you guys ready for Metroid Prime 4? That is not... That game doesn't exist. Let's talk about games that are real, bro. Let's talk about shit that exists. I see DQ Trilogy being announced here in full. I think there's no question, at least to me, that Dragon Quest HD 2D is going to be here. That's like for sure to me. I'm also pretty confident on the Fantasian rumor. So I think Fantasian and Dragon Quest are going to be here. And I think just seeing those two for most, maybe not most, but for a lot of JRPG fans will probably be a pretty good day for them. Because there you go. That's Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest. And yes, I just said that Fantasian is a Final Fantasy. Because it is a Final Fantasy. And anyone who's played Fantasian would say that it's a Final Fantasy. And hello. The only announcement I'm waiting for is the Bubsy 3D remake. Nice. Uh, I like to see a Prime trilogy all in one release. I mean, it's possible they'll remaster like Metroid Prime 2 now. Fantasia and Dragon Quest are pretty solid. Another decent one is Team Asano, as we know. We are getting Bravely news this year, and this direct makes sense as it is meant to be showing games for 2024 second half. Really, I would figure that a new Bravely would be Switch 2, but like it has been like 4 years, I guess. Has it since like Bravely Default 2, something like that? I guess it is like getting there. So, will Fantasian come to PC? Yes, it's like already been like in Steam DB, so it's coming to PC. I don't think there's any question on whether that's coming to PC. I wouldn't want it to be locked to consoles, and I certainly would not want it to be locked to Switch. So, um, once you get a Steam Deck, anytime there's a third party title that's not I mean anything that's not like Nintendo exclusive, Nintendo first party, after you get a Steam Deck, you're like, I ain't ever buying like a non first party game for Switch ever again. Like straight up, I would not buy um a game that I can get on Steam Deck for Switch, because I would just be playing the inferior version of it like all around. Because with Steam Deck, obviously, not only can you do all the Switch stuff with the Steam Deck, dock it to a TV, play it on the go, but then you can also get on your PC and play the game as well, and your save file is all synced through the cloud. It's kind of a much better experience than Switch, if I'm honest. It's kind of like how I would ideally imagine video games working in the future, for the most part, on all platforms, is that I'd have some version of it I can have on the go, and then some version I can have on it, on a more powerful stationed platform. Do you think Rebirth will get a demo on PC? My guess is no, because Remake didn't get a demo on PC, I don't believe. So I'm gonna say no. 16's getting a demo on PC though. Yeah. So yeah, most of the time now, Steam Deck has kind of made it so that if I can get something on PC, I will. I mean, I feel that way in general, but once you get a Steam Deck, you really, really feel that way, because it's just like, Steam Deck is basically the option where I can have something on the go, or I can have it at home, and with high quality graphics, and I don't have to choose between high quality graphics and having it on the go, or if it's on PlayStation, for example, you don't get that choice at all, really, uh, unless you are doing remote play. So yeah, Steam Deck is pretty awesome. I also recommend it too for people who don't even have a PC, because you can get a Steam Deck and that can literally just be like your PC, your pocket PC. You can access PC games and mods and all that stuff. Uh, Bravely Second was late on the 3DS. Uh, Not Bravely Default 2. Those names are dumb. My Shot in the Dark is a remake of one of the Mario and Luigi RPGs. We just got a Mario RPG and a Paper Mario remake. So go for it to the triple. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. How long this direct is going to be? 40 minutes. All I want is a Wind Waker remaster. Yeah, the Wind Waker remaster and the Twilight Princess remaster, people are wanting those to come to Switch as well. The fact that they haven't is just negligence. It's insane that they haven't. But most people are hoping for that. I don't know if it's gonna happen today, but Nintendo GameCube for Switch Online. Uh I don't think that's happening this generation. I don't think that's happening this generation. If we're going to get Switch GameCube, then I think that's going to be Switch 2, right? In part, like I don't even think that Switch current unit has enough storage really for that shit. I feel like I feel like that's honestly too like Switch 2. I swear to God, I know it's not gonna happen. I know it's not gonna happen. But if Switch 2 doesn't have at least 512 gigabytes in it, I'm gonna be so pissed. Really, realistically, Switch 2 should have 1 terabyte of storage by default internally, but it probably won't. Just buy an SD card. That's not going to be a SD card memory loads so much slower than internal memory. And so I would imagine they would want internal memory. But also memory isn't that expensive. There was never a reason for the first Switch to only have 32 gigabytes of internal memory. It should have at least had like 256, like bare minimum. Like bare minimum. I'm not even convinced Switch can run BC emulation stably. You mean like GameCube emulation? It can run ports obviously, but emulation probably not. Yeah, you might be right. It might actually chug with GameCube emulation. So that probably would be a Switch 2 thing, I imagine. Switch 2 needs to give players the option to buy classic games and not need to subscribe to the Nintendo Online Plus expansion to stream classic games. Give us the option to own our Nintendo games. Nintendo will never give you the option to own the classic games. Straight up. That is never going to happen. They will never let you own game permanently. The reason is because Nintendo knows in like 20 years you'll want to play Mario 3 again. And they don't want you having that and being able to log in again and download Mario 3. They want to be able to sell you that shit again. Final Fantasy 17, here we go. Finally, someone with some reasonable expectation. Hello, Tima. Excited for the direct today? I am. I'm very excited. Very excited because I think Fantasian is coming. I'm saying this because my phone is more powerful than the Switch, and even that isn't perfect for GameCube emulation. Okay. Well, then, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Emulation does require some pretty hefty hardware, and yeah, yeah, that would make pretty good sense then. Um, maybe Switch 2, because Steam Deck and well, I guess just Steam Deck, but Steam Deck can handle like PS2 and GameCube emulation pretty well. from what I know. So, I mean, here is the hoping that Switch 2 is at least as powerful as the Steam Deck is right now. Bare minimum, right? Like, holy crap. If the Switch 2 is not as powerful as a Steam Deck, then like it's kind of over. Tenebrae Queen, hello. Wait, you stream on YouTube? I multi-stream now. So I'm live on Twitch and on YouTube. It's live on Twitch. I mean, it's live on YouTube as well, but it's just the screen, the Nintendo screen. And the only reason I haven't pulled it up yet is because that red blinds the hell out of me. So we'll wait until it's a few minutes out. Funnily enough, the Mario 3D All-Stars version of Sunshine is emulated. We know because it was before patch, the floating platform and secret levels had the guide.rails, which only ever showed up when the game is being emulated. Oh, okay. Um, I wonder, is it like full emulation, or is it like one of those things where they're doing like a partial emulation and some of the game is native? Um, I kind of hope the Fantasian port is giving some extra love and polish if the rumor about Square Enix is publishing it is true. I hope that too. Honestly, like one of the things I thought would have been cool is if Fantasian had some voice acting. I think I'm probably asking for too much with that, but I do think it would be really cool if in the Square Enix published remaster they like added like voice acting to it or something like that. Again, I'm probably asking for way too much with that, but that would be a really cool feature they could add. Actually, that's probably too expensive. They probably would not add that. But I can still hope. Also, another fun fact is that the Wii U can run GameCube games natively. Can't read the disc, but if you inject the game into the system, it'll just run them because the Wii U was just a souped up Wii, which is just a souped up GameCube. Yeah. Yeah. And I imagine that Switch 2 is just going to be a souped up Switch, right? Like it's not going to be anything special in that regard. I don't imagine anyway. Like I don't imagine that the architecture is changing or anything crazy like that. Um, any expectations or anything you are looking up for? Honestly, just Fantasian. Honestly, that's kind of like the main thing. I am pretty curious about Dragon Quest though. I'm pretty hopeful to see that. But I think those things are pretty much guaranteed. Is Fantasian your favorite post Square Enix Sakaguchi game? He made a few games. Yeah, I would probably say so. But I don't know. Lost Odyssey was really good. It might be Lost Odyssey. It might be Lost Odyssey. The thing about Fantasian is that I only finished part one, and there's a whole part two, and so this game is probably going to be part one and part two. So I should probably finish part two before I say definitively. And that's also why I'm looking forward to this port because I just didn't want to keep paying for Apple Arcade to finish the game. Um, that and the setup for the game was just because I didn't want to play it without a controller. And it's so funny too because for anyone who's played Fantasian or hasn't, if you play that game, it is it is so not a mobile game, right? Like people think that it's built on iPhone, but it actually feels like you're emulating a PS1 game when you play it. Lost Odyssey had the better story, but Fantasian has the better gameplay. He and I completely agree. Completely agree. Yeah. Lost Odyssey was the better story. And I think the music in Lost Odyssey was also better. It was Uematsu's better score between the two. That and if I'm honest, the production value of Lost Odyssey also definitely does help in just like making it better. Part two's combat is insane, arguably some of the most demanding and combat in the genre. That's awesome. Because I really liked combat in part one. Like really, really enjoy it. But what's Fantasian? I can't find anything on it. You can't find anything on it because it was an Apple Arcade exclusive. And it's a really good game. It is the lost PS1 Final Fantasy. The way I like to describe Fantasian is imagine an alternate universe, right? And in that alternate universe, they made a fourth PS1 Final Fantasy game after FF9. Right, PS2 got delayed by like 2 years. And so they're like, okay, well, let's make one more PS1 Final Fantasy. And they did. And it is that secret lost Final Fantasy that somehow drifted out from that alternative universe into ours, the canon universe. And now we're getting to play it. That same universe also got Final Fantasy Versus 13, by the way. It was such a huge ask when it initially came out on Apple Arcade. It was, but at the same time, too, Sakaguchi got this game funded, man. And I don't think the game would have had the production value that it did if Apple didn't fund it. So while people may hate Apple for platform locking it, the game also just straight up wouldn't exist if it wasn't for Apple as well. And so, yeah. That's what Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes feels like with the Suikoden games, actually. It feels like a third PS1 Suikoden. Yeah. It's basically that, but FF. It's our Terrier verse. Yeah, exactly, right? Are we losing our memories because Fantasian made it to our universe? Yeah. Well, see now that Fantasian has made it to our universe, people are wondering what the implication is. And they're wondering if famous historical figures might actually live in this version of our universe now. Because that wasn't supposed to happen, right? The combat of Fantasian is so great. It was made for a control. Yeah, it's that's what was so frustrating about it being on. I mean, it's not technically a mobile game because you can actually play it on a Mac. You can play it on a MacBook. You can play it on a Apple TV. So there's ways to play, Fantasian. And actually, I mean, recently you know, I just got an iPad. It's an older one. This is not older. Well, older as in like it's a 10th gen. It was like the first one with like the USB-C. So, pretty fun. Shout out to my boy Nico for that. What about the last story out of the post Square Enix game Sakaguchi made? That game for some reason looks the most appealing to me, but I'm not sure how the Wii control works. I didn't finish the last story, so I can't give you like an in-depth look at it. But I did play it, and I thought it was pretty awesome. And I think it's criminal that that game doesn't have like a port that you can just go buy. But it was pretty cool from like what I played with of it. It was like if Sakaguchi made Final Fantasy 12 because the battle system kind of reminded me of FF12 a little bit. Um, Honestly, I'm so distracted by how swole you look. I'm having a hard time following what you say. No, I don't. I feel like you really because I feel like the camera makes me look scrawny, right? Because of the angle of it. I feel like I feel like I'm scrawny from this angle because it's like it's narrowing. You know what I'm saying? Like it being up here. But thank you. That's what I want to hear. I that's still what I want to hear, Billy. That's still exactly what I want to hear. Thank you. You're the best. Uh, I played it with the PS5 controller on my iPhone. That's the best way. Last Story is my second favorite game of all time. Oh, wow. You can play it with a classic GameCube controller setup. Oh, wow. Okay, good. FF12 gameplay sold me on the Last Story even more now. Always wanted to emulate it at some point. I do recommend it. Um, if you can get a hold of it. It's a really cool game. Then I need that camera. I'm down 60 pounds, but still, that's awesome. Hey, if you're down 60 pounds, you don't need the camera, dude. You just need to keep going. That's crazy. Yeah, see, I lost like 40 pounds on my cut. Um, and a lot of that was fat that I had already had before I started working out, and then the fat that I put on from after working out. And so what's really funny is that I weigh the same or maybe even slightly less before I started working out. Um, but I'm actually bigger, which is ironic because yeah, but um, that's why that happened. Oh, thank you guys, appreciate it. But yeah, I'm bigger. Um, but yeah, that's because when I started, I was scrawny. I'm not sure how it compares to FF12. It's more like Gears of War with swords and really because I remember like I guess I'm remembering it wrong. Then I don't know. That's right. It's got the cover-based real-time combat. I guess because like wasn't the attack automatic? You had to like walk up to the enemy and then I think it would like if you like walked against them, it would like auto attack. Am I remembering it like horrifically wrong? I don't know. It's been years. Last time I touched it, it was natively on Wii. Like, Autumn, hello. We're hoping to see Fantasian today. NSP, I'm bigger Rosfield. Bro, I don't think I'd ever be like comfortable enough to cosplay Clive. Like I feel like I would need to like put on so much chest mass. But also too, I cosplayed Vaughn once and I was in like leather pants and that was like the worst shit ever. I don't want to ever do that again. For those of you who have never worn leather pants, with yeah, it's not a great experience. You can swap it in the menu. Oh my God, I didn't know you could play it without auto attack. I didn't know that was a thing. Okay. I thought that like the game was just like always auto attack. I didn't know that was just like a thing on by default. You know what? Enough time has passed. I don't think Wii controls are bad. Lazy developers were shoehorning them everywhere with little thought was bad, but the games with well-designed use of the Wiimote were so fun and made that console so special. Well, the thing is that most games didn't really have like a good use for the Wiimote. Like most games are like you can just play this shit without it. And in fact, most games really were you should play this without the Wiimote. So because it was just it was yeah, it was not that great. Uh a remake theory? What is this? Oh, this is a lot. This is a lot. The hell? Okay, let's take a look at this. I'll just skim it really quickly because we got the fucking we got the fucking thing to do. What the hell is all of this? Okay. Observation, analysis, and theory as to what's happening during the final fight. I've been thinking about the ending for a while, and some details I've noticed that I feel like not enough theories seem to bring up, so I've decided to put together a post covering some of these observations while also pitching my personal interpretation of the big scene and final fight. Before we get to the scene, let me cover what most of this theory revolves around. Rainbow, prismatic color effect, multiple worlds, timeline shenanigans. Turn this off. Fuck. One of the most apparent details throughout the game that some people have been noticing is the rainbow prismatic color effect whenever the multiverse slash timeline things are occurring. This effect can be seen in multiple scenes with Zack, showing how he survived outside of Midgar, him choosing to go after Cloud over Biggs, when he encounters Sephiroth outside of the church, when he crosses over and exits during the final battle, the church scene in Zack's world just before Aerith pushes Cloud through a portal back into his world, the scene afterwards, etc. Um. Okay. This a lot of stuff. Sephiroth appears before the party outside the Forgotten Capital, where he essentially explains his plan for the reunion is to merge world and harness the negative emotion like sorrow and anger, presumably to ascend to godhood among all realities. The party then rushes to find Aerith within the Forgotten Capital, but they are blocked off by a barrier similar to the one at the end of Remake Part 1. Remember when the party passed through that portal, they initiated a fight against fate that created a new timeline where Zack survived his encounter outside Midgar. This time, however, only Cloud is able to pass through the barrier. This, in addition to the other universe timeline stuff Cloud has been subjected to, may explain why he only sees things a certain way. Keep in mind, whenever Cloud perceives things, others do not. It's a big scene. I will have to read all this later. This is a lot. But interesting. Whoever said Resident Evil 4 Wii version in the chat, YouTube chat, you a real one. Yes, 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 best version. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Resident Evil 4 Wii version is the best version, like objectively. Which actually is how I first played RE4. And then obviously I played the other ports later on, but the Wii port of RE4 is still my favorite port of RE4, like by far. The Wii motion controls of RE4 actually worked really well. Did I finish Stranger of Paradise? Yeah, I finished Stranger of Paradise when it came out. People hated me for that stream. I think that was like the absolute valley of my likability. It was the lowest point. The absolute lowest point where NSP hate was like was at a peak because most Final Fantasy fans loved that game, at least the ones that were playing it, and I fucking hated it. I fucking hated it with like a passion. I did not like Stranger in Paradise. I did not like Jack Garland. I did not think the memes were funny. I was the only one, and yeah, people hated my ass for that, and and they were wrong. Yeah, see, chat's like Jack Garland's the goat. I love Sop. I'm sorry, chat. I did not love Slop. Uh, Now I will say, alternatively, I do think that there were some ideas presented in that combat that I think that FF16 would have benefited from pretty greatly because that game made stuff like elemental attacks and all that other stuff work pretty well. And I think that actually, if they had some of those mechanics in 16, I would have like really liked that one a lot more. A huge fan of Final Fantasy. After finishing Rebirth, I'm trying to get into another game, but I don't know which I should start. Lies of P, Stellar Blade, or the God of War series. Which one? God of War. God of War 2018 and God of War Ragnarok. I feel like if you like Final Fantasy, God of War Ragnarok especially is a Final Fantasy game. Like God of War Ragnarok is straight up an FF to me. Um there's even a party and an airship at one point. So yeah, God of War Ragnarok is like a is definitely like just dead ass a JRPG. No one will admit it, but like Ragnarok is absolutely a JRPG, 100%. And yeah, I really love uh God of War series in general. Fallen Yumi, hello. Is there really a ship in Ragnarok? I don't remember. It it happens toward the latter half of the game, like really close to the end. There's an airship. You're literally on a flying ship. And it's funny because I remember my friend my friend Levon, he was joking. He's like, dang, God of War Ragnarok got airships and Final Fantasy don't. This is crazy. What's going on? And I was like, damn, that's so true. Yeah. Yeah, so I really like the God of War games and I highly recommend them. I actually feel like they're kind of like a again, like if you like Final Fantasy and you like really character focused storytelling, then I think it's really good. Particularly the Norse series though, but like I don't know if like the Greek saga will hit for you in the same way, but I feel like the Norse games hit on the same notes for me that I would expect from a Final Fantasy game to do. Where do you think God of War series should go next now that the Norse saga is over? Ideally, I want them to go to Egypt. And I want the Egyptian pantheon to be next because I feel like that's like prime territory, right? Which God of War do I start with? Oh man, honestly, you can just start with 2018 and play Ragnarok if you want to. I would just watch a recap of the God of War trilogy, like a summary of the God of War trilogy on YouTube, it's not hard to follow, and then you can skip straight into 2018. And then if you really want to, you can go back and play the Greek Saga games. Not that the Greek Saga games aren't good, but I feel like if I make you go back and start at God of War 1, it might be a little bit hard. And also too, God of War 2018 is designed to be a title that can be accessible. And so, yeah, with feudal Japan being in vogue, Kratos can go fight the Japanese commie next. Okay, actually, that would be really tight. Like if Kratos was fighting the fucking commie, like that would be incredible. Like I would be down for that. It starts in like 4 minutes. The only reason I don't have the thing up is because that red is so fucking blinding, dude. I can't stare at the red. It's so. Midnight Sapphire, thank you for the tier 1. How you doing? Kratos is barely a character in the original games, and that is by design of the original character, of the original creator too. Seeing as how he hates Kratos, had actual development in 2018 in Ragnarok. Weird, yeah. Jaffe has takes on that stuff, but yeah, I don't know. Like, how much longer could you do Kratos as he was in the Greek games, and it still be like entertaining and still be interesting, right? Like I don't feel like you can do that. I feel like after God of War 3, like that was it. Like angry, mad Kratos was kind of done at that point. Like there was not more you could do with that version of Kratos, right? At some point it was just gonna be kind of tiring. He can't even complete simple Metroid shoot the floor to proceed puzzles, so his views are meaningless anyways. Yeah. Um, so yeah, that's all just to say that I liked Jaffe's God of War games, but uh, you know, um, what else could you do with that version of Kratos? Like something, if the series was going to continue, they had to do something else, because that just wasn't enough to keep sustaining the series. And so I think the Norse games did the right thing. Kratos SMT crossover would be amazing. Holy shit, you're so right. And that's actually like one of the most sensible like video game crossovers that would make perfect sense. Like a Kratos SMT crossover would make like so much sense. It would never happen, but if it did, it'd be the most reasonable video game collaboration ever. Well, he's been calm for a while, so now he can go back to being angry for a while. I think that like him like going back to being angry like again like in the same way wouldn't work, especially not after Valhalla DLC, because that's basically Kratos goes to therapy. And I think if you play or watch Valhalla and the cutscenes in there and how he develops, it would basically undermine all that. And for me, Valhalla was some of the best gaming content that I've ever played through. Narratively, some of the best content that I just got to experience. I really loved Valhalla. It could happen. Dante crossed over with SMT, and Kratos crossed over with Shovel Knight, who can canonically beat him in the Battletoads. Yeah. Valhalla is free, right? Yeah, Valhalla is free. So if you buy God of War Ragnarok, you'll have Valhalla. I cannot believe that was a free DLC. So good. It was the best piece of free content for a game ever. Oops. Scared the shit out of me. Okay. Do you think they're still trying to set up his son to take over the series? I think he has to at some point, right? Only so much you can do with Kratos after a while, or any character. Oh.
Luigi? Huh? Luigi!
Oh, Crossy, you called it, Joe. Mario and Luigi RPG. Nice. Okay, I never played the original, but this looks good. This is a brand new one? Oh, okay, so this isn't a remake. Oh. Oh, this looks great, man. Yeah, that looks good. That looks really good. November, nice.
Hello everyone, I'm Shinya Takahashi, and I'll be your guide for today's Nintendo Direct. That was the first new entry in the Mario and Luigi series in almost 9 years. Mario and Luigi Brothership.
Brothership.
Please look forward to a seafaring adventure that unfolds across mysterious islands, as well as evolved Bros moves with Mario and Luigi. Okay, let's see the first batch of headlines.
Bring the championships home or on the go. The thrill of the Nintendo World Championships is heading to the Nintendo Switch system. Take on over 150 speedrunning challenges from across 13 NES games, from lightning-fast beats to action-packed battles. Familiarize yourself with each challenge and perfect your timing. Then give it your best shot and aim for the top of the online leaderboards. You can also try more difficult legend challenges, like completing Super Mario Bros. In one go using warp pipes. Stuck on a legend challenge? Check out classified information for handy tips and tricks to help you improve. Put your skills to the test in survival mode, where you'll race against ghost data of players worldwide. After each round, half of the players will be eliminated. You've only got one shot to survive. Will you be the last one standing? Nintendo World Championships NES Edition launches on Nintendo Switch July 18th. Pre-orders for the digital version are available now on Nintendo eShop. A deluxe set containing a physical version of the game and other bonus items is also available for pre-order. The final battle of Fairy Tail is about to begin.
I sleep.
Relive the climactic Alvarez Empire arc from the hit anime Fairy Tail in this action RPG. Set in the vast kingdom of Fiore, Team Natsu prepares to finish their fight. Engage in real-time battles and unleash powerful attacks that fuse different kinds of magic based on who's in your party. Work together with your teammates to take down powerful enemies. Fairy Tail 2 launches on Nintendo Switch this winter. Embark
Yes!
on a multi-dimensional journey.
Yes! Let's go!
From Final Fantasy series creator Hironobu Sakaguchi
Go!
and composer Nobuo Uematsu
It's happening,
comes the
boy!
turn-based RPG Fantasian. The world is slowly being robbed of its civilization. To restore his memories, Leo must confront an evil entity threatening all mankind.
Finally!
Skills are the ticket to winning battles. Adjust the
This
skill's
combat system is so
trajectory to
good,
target
bro.
multiple
It's
enemies
so
at
good.
once.
It's so good.
You can also send enemies you've encountered to a separate dimension and fight them later.
This mechanic is really cool too. You can
The more
stack
enemies
enemies.
there are, the more you can wipe out in
Yeah,
one
and then
shot.
just AoE them all at once. So good.
Let them go!
There's voice acting now.
Let us save the world.
Oh my god! I called it. I was right.
Fantasian Neo Dimension launches on Nintendo Switch this holiday.
I was right. I was right.
Another sport is coming to Spoko Square.
Oh my
Basketball is being
god.
added as a free update to the Nintendo Switch sports game.
We won. We won. We're so bad.
Dribble,
We're so bad.
pass, and shoot
We're so bad.
in 2-on-2 matches using motion controls. Try out 3-point challenge solo and score as many baskets as you can within the time limit. Up to 4 players can also compete in 5-streak battle. Besides local play, you can team up with players worldwide in 2-on-2 online matches.
We're so fucking back right now. Oh my god. We're so fucking back. We're so fucking
This
back,
free update
guys.
for Nintendo Switch Sports dunks its way onto Nintendo Switch this
Yeah,
summer.
it's multi-plat. It's coming to other platforms too. What's this? This music is very nearish. Music's really good.
It's an array of cartoon classics. Leap into a new update for
Oh.
Disney Illusion Island. Monoth's greatest detective is solving a mystery, and only Mickey and friends can help. In the brand new adventure, Mystery and Monoth, uncover hints and evidence scattered throughout the world, then use the dashboard to crack each case. What big secret lies at the end? Start sleuthing because this free update launches on Nintendo Switch later today. Island adventures await.
Nico, hello. Did they confirm no
Customize your
hardware
character.
news on this show? Yeah, there's no Switch
Then
2 this
befriend
show.
Hello Kitty,
you for
Karomi,
the 01.
and other
Appreciate it, man.
familiar faces in this open world adventure. Team up with your new pals to solve mysteries and restore Friendship Island when Hello Kitty Island Adventure launches as a timed console
Game of
exclusive
the
on the
fucking
Nintendo
year.
Switch system
Exclusives.
next year.
It's done for Sony, bro. They got Hello Kitty Island Adventure exclusively
Let's get
for
Looney in
Nintendo
this
Switch.
wacky sports game.
The scrubs
Play
at
as
Sony
Bugs
are playing
Bunny,
for like
Daffy
Rebirth
Duck,
and shit.
Porky Pig, and more.
Nintendo, they got
across
Hello
4
Kitty, bro.
Arcade-style sports.
It's over.
Unleash the
Sony,
full
it's
power of
over.
Acme across iconic levels in up to 4-player local co-op. But watch out for falling anvils. Looney Tunes' Wacky World of Sports crashes onto Nintendo Switch this fall.
What's up, Doc?
That's all, folks.
Let's game on!
Emergency meeting. New crewmate and imposter roles are being added to Among Us. Alert others when eliminated as a noisemaker. Plant tracking devices on others as a tracker. Or turn invisible while taking out players as a phantom. Suss things out when this free update for Among Us sneaks onto Nintendo Switch later today. A monster army is at your command. This is Felicidad, a realm of monsters. Those who command and raise them are called Farmagia and play a vital role in the land's civilization. 10 of Farmagia must rise up against the oppressive Magus to stop his vicious reign of the underworld. Raise monsters and lead them into the fight against the Magus' army. Plant seeds, then cultivate, and harvest them to make your buddies come to life. They can then be trained for battle. Give commands to your monsters and exploit enemy weaknesses in action-packed combat. Merge all of the battle buddies in your party to call forth a giant fusion summon and wreak havoc on your foes. Join the rebellion to stop the Magus.
This is like
in
Pokemon
Farmagia,
Pikmin, right?
Launching on Nintendo Switch November 1st.
Like, that's what it looks like. Oh! Oh!
Donkey Kong Country returns. Originally released on the Wii system, is barreling onto Nintendo Switch in HD. The villainous Tiki Tak tribe has hypnotized the local wildlife and stolen Donkey Kong's precious banana horn.
Yo!
Obstacles in the way? Just stomp them, pound them, and roll on through. Each level is filled with hijinks, but they're no match for these top bananas. From manic minecarts to high-flying rocket barrels, and even hitching a ride on Rambi. There are plenty of transportation methods available.
Let's go. This is
Pass
a good
Joy-Con
direct.
controller to a buddy for 2-player local co-op. 80 appealing levels are in store, including the additional levels from the Nintendo 3DS version. Donkey Kong Country Returns HD swings onto the Nintendo Switch system January 16th.
Nice.
One of Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong's jungle escapades returns in HD. Plenty of wild actions and antics are in store with these Kongs. Next, please take a look at this.
The time is nigh. Oh! Let's go! I thought it was Fire Emblem at first too. Dragon Quest.
Journey with allies to face
Oh my god,
the
dude,
archfiend
that's so good.
on an epic adventure. Memorable encounters, perplexing challenges, and formidable monsters await.
This looks
An
so
iconic
good.
RPG remade in HD 2D.
Oh, it looks so good.
Forge your own path. The legacy begins. Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake. to Nintendo Switch, November 14th.
Wait. Just Dragon Quest 3? No, it's the whole trilogy, right? There we go. There we go. Nice. Oh, separately? Separately?
任天堂ダイレクトをご覧の皆様、こんにちは、堀井裕二です。ドラゴンクエスト3の映像、いかがでしたか？ようやく発売日を発表できて、僕も嬉しく思います。そして今日、サプライズで発表したドラゴンクエスト 1&2 も HD2D で蘇ることが決定しました。時系列としては3が物語の始めるとなっており、3、1、2の順番でプレイしてもらうと、あっと驚く展開が待っています。ロト3部作となる3と 1&2、どちらもぜひ楽しんでもらえたら嬉しいです。どうも、堀井裕二でした。
Nice.
Thank you, Mr. Hori. We hope you're excited to play the entire Erdrick trilogy, now in HD 2D. Let's continue with more headlines.
Let's have some fun, Co. Say hello to Jaws?
What the fuck?
Wait, He-Man? Great Scott! Is that Marty McFly?
Bro thinks
The
they're
world
Legos.
of Funko is coming to life in this action-adventure mashup for the ages. Play with more than 60 characters as you explore locations based on over 20 iconic movies, TV shows, and more. Use special skills and crafted gadgets to explore epic worlds, each with their own unique puzzles, hidden areas, and familiar foes. Dinosaurs from Jurassic World and Cylons from Battlestar Galactica. They're certainly not toying around. Unbox the universe.
Let Funko die already?
When
I know.
Funko Fusion pops onto Nintendo Switch September 13th.
I don't get Funko really.
We've got a smorgasbord of spooky, silly, and strategic games. Ready for an adventure of ghoulish proportions? Summon your courage and explore multiple mansions filled with goofy ghosts, tricky traps, and other supernatural shenanigans. Luigi's Mansion 2 HD launches on Nintendo Switch June 27th. Pre-orders are available now on Nintendo eShop. Meet the quirky little Denpa Man. Find him, catch him, and lead him on a joyful RPG adventure. Explore dungeons and battle monsters. Customize all sorts of outfits. Decorate your island however you'd like. And more. Plus, up to 4 players in local co-op can team up to catch special Denpa Men. The new Denpa Men is free to play and launches as a timed exclusive on Nintendo Switch July 22nd. Strategize away in this tower defense installment of the Metal Slug series. Take control of your forces and pulverize enemy strongholds. Choose from over 300 units with different abilities and build out your decks to win tactical tussles. You can also slug it out with other players in online battles. Metal Slug Attack Reloaded storms onto the Nintendo Switch system later today. Embark on an expedition of the damned in this eagerly awaited sequel to the gothic roguelike RPG. Board your stagecoach and set off across a decaying landscape to prevent an apocalypse. Fight off nightmarish fiends in turn-based combat. And upgrade your abilities after each deadly run. Darkest Dungeon 2 launches on Nintendo Switch July 15th. Pre-orders begin later today on Nintendo eShop. More classic titles are on the way.
Oh. Fuck yes.
play Link's classic 16-bit adventure and team
Man,
up online to
fuck
explore
yes.
randomized dungeons in The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past 4 Swords.
This game fucks.
Experience
Oh, shit.
the remake of Samus's first adventure in Metroid Zero Mission. Plus, coming to the new Nintendo 64, Nintendo Switch Online Mature 17+ collection of games. Brave
Nice.
the dangerous lost land to stop the campaigners' nefarious schemes in Turok, Dinosaur Hunter. And
Nice.
infiltrate a corporation to end their alien conspiracy in Perfect Dark, now with online multiplayer. All 4 games will be available for Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion pack members later today. Set sail to save the day. This is Verona, a young woman with the ability to communicate with phantoms.
I will take all of this girl.
Join her on a journey to save her friend Ash. In this new installment in the Phantom Brave series. Take on tactical turn-based battles, where you'll combine the phantoms you've befriended with objects in various ways. Combine phantoms with certain objects to maneuver them. Combine with a cannon to attack a large area. A fan to blow enemies around. Or combine with Marona herself for show-stopping abilities that can turn the tide of battle. Phantom Brave, the Lost Hero, launches on Nintendo Switch next year. This one's gonna take you for a ride. 7 arcade games featuring Marvel and Capcom characters are fighting their way onto Nintendo Switch as one collection. Clash in X-Men vs. Street Fighter. Duke it out in Marvel vs. Capcom 2 New Age of Heroes. Take down the Kingpin in the beat-em-up side-scroller The Punisher, and more. Hit up training mode to polish your fighting skills and combos. Select online mode to challenge rivals around the world.
This is a good
Or
direct.
play co-op in The Punisher.
This is a really good direct, dude.
You can also cross over to the museum to view artwork or listen to music from each game.
Like, personally, I'm satisfied so far.
Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics launches on Nintendo Switch this year. The latest game in the Mario Party series takes place on an enormous island resort. Get ready to jump into the biggest selection of Mario Party minigames yet in Super Mario Party Jamboree. First, let's see some of the new boards where you'll compete to collect the most stars. Take the escalators to travel between floors in Rainbow Galleria. Use in-game coins to get a star at half price when they're on flash sale. But act fast. Ride around and stay on track in Roll'em Raceway. With the new Turbo Dice item, you can move up to 40 spaces with a lucky roll. Here on Goomba Lagoon, the ebb and flow of the tide can change your path. And things really get mixed up when the volcano blows its top. Along with 5 new game boards, 2 boards from previous Mario Party games make their return. Some mini-games are action-packed challenges, speed trials, a battle of wits, and more. And some are controlled by gently shaking or tilting your Joy-Con controllers. With over 110 mini-games, there's a wide variety to enjoy. Also, a up to 20 players can go head-to-head online in the Coupathlon mode. Compete against your rivals and aim for first place. Try your best to come out on top. Wait, there are even more new modes? The biggest Mario Party yet will soon be underway when the Super Mario Party Jamboree game launches on the Nintendo Switch system October 17th.
That was the latest installment in the Mario Party series, Super Mario Party Jamboree. With new boards, mini-games, 20-player online gameplay, and more, get ready for the biggest Mario Party in series history. And now, please take a look at this.
What's this? Oh! 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 Zelda? Please be the Oracle remake. Oracle remake. Oracle remake. Is it new or is it Oracle remake? Yeah, this doesn't look like Oracle. This looks like... Wait, are we gonna play as Zelda? Echoes of Wisdom?
Hello everyone. I'm Eiji Aonuma, producer of the Legend of Zelda series. What you just saw was the latest installment, The Legend of Zelda, Echoes of Wisdom. This time around, Link has vanished. Now, it's up to Princess Zelda to step into the protagonist role.
Holy fuck!
You might be thinking, will Zelda fight with a sword then? Here, we wanted to create a new gameplay style that breaks conventions seen in past Legend of Zelda games with a top-down perspective. To explain more, please take a look at this video.
It's the third Oracle game, canceled Oracle game from 25 years ago? No way.
Stolen away. Across the vast lands of Hyrule, strange rifts have appeared and have taken many people, including Link. Now alone, Zelda meets the fairy Tri, receives a mysterious staff called the Tri-Rod, and sets off on a journey across Hyrule to save her kingdom. By waving the Tri-Rod at a table she found, Zelda learned how to create an imitation of it called an echo. Once you learn an echo of something, you can recreate it whenever you'd like. Even if there's a wall blocking your path, you can create echoes of tables to get a leg up. Just like that. You can create wooden boxes, old beds, and unusual things like water blocks. How you use them separately or together is entirely up to you.
Oh, that's super cool.
Learn and create echoes of things you find while exploring Hyrule. You might be surprised at what you discover.
That's so cool.
Even battles will look different. You could pick up and throw a rock echo, for example. That's not all, though. You can also create echoes of monsters. After doing so, they'll fight by your side. Monsters have different abilities, so choose the one you want to create based on the situation.
Oh, sorry.
Wisdom is key, after all.
My noise cancellation on these headphones is so good, my phone alarm is going off, and I didn't even hear it.
In a Hyrule without Link, the fate of the kingdom is now in Zelda's hands.
How was that? I hope you enjoyed this demonstration of the Echo ability, which channels Princess Zelda's wisdom. There are a lot of echoes in this game. To be honest, I haven't counted them all yet. How you solve puzzles and battle enemies will change depending on the echoes used. In short, we've created a game where each player's experience will be different.
This looks incredible, man.
The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom launches September 26th. A Nintendo Switch Lite system inspired by the Legend of Zelda series will also be available at launch.
Really cool.
We hope you're looking forward to playing as Zelda in this new adventure. Now, I'd like to return this moment I'd stolen away back to Mr. Takahashi.
Thank you, Mr. Aonuma. Please look forward to the newest entry in the Legend of Zelda series. Let's see a few more headlines.
Let loose and party on.
Oh. Oh. Yeah, we gotta mute that shit. We gotta mute that shit. We gotta mute that shit fast, boy. Nah, oof. No way. No, sir. I am not trying to get this stream demonetized. All kinds of copyright claims on that. No way. Dude, this is a good direct, though. This is pretty solid. We got new Zelda, we got Fantasian, we got Dragon Quest, new Mario Party, Mario and Luigi RPG. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. Nintendo is winning E3 right now, guys. They're winning E3. Okay.
Adventure is on the horizon. It's the world of Horizon in Lego form. Join Machine Hunter Aloy on a quest to save the world from an ancient evil. Journey through lush landscapes. Dive deep into the cauldrons. Climb up onto tall necks and traverse other locations inspired by the original game. But be careful. Swarms of machines are lurking everywhere. Use an array of gadgets like blast boots and gravity bombs to hunt them down. From the nimble watchers to mighty sawtooths. You might even come across the fearsome Thunderjaw. As you progress, you can help Aloy rebuild her home and customize her appearance with lots of outfits. Oh, and you don't have to explore this vast wilderness alone. Team up with familiar faces from the world of Horizon in 2-player local or online co-op. LEGO Horizon Adventures launches on Nintendo Switch this holiday. A stray's journey begins.
Yo, no way. What is the Switch version gonna look like? It's gotta be ugly, right? No way. Stray is coming to Switch? No way.
Experience a decaying cyber city through the eyes of a cat separated from their family and friends. Explore alongside a drone known as B-12 to find your way home. Carefully
It doesn't look
climb
terrible.
to the highest heights. Create new paths for yourself. And stealthily squeeze into tight spaces. Think like a cat to
But
make
yeah, it
your
is
way
blurry.
through the city.
It's very blurry. Oh, the frame rate is not.
Careful,
But
though. Not everyone is excited
still
to have
looks
you
decent,
slinking
though.
around, including hordes of hostile creatures ready to swarm. Keep exploring to venture into more areas of this unfamiliar world and make your way back to safety. Stray finds its way
I
onto
love
Nintendo
Stray.
Switch this
Great
holiday.
game. Great game.
Welcome home, Hobbit. If you've ever wanted to live like a hobbit from The Lord of the Rings, now a leisurely existence
What the
nestled
fuck?
away in an idyllic, quiet corner of Middle-earth can be yours. Customize your appearance, decorate your home, and settle into life in the Shire. As a newcomer to the little haven
What?
of Bywater, you'll befriend your neighbors, work together to solve problems, and even share a meal. Or 3, explore, garden, fish, forage, and cook. The best way to build a Hobbit community is by hosting a dinner party with your homemade dishes. Plus, you can trade with your neighbors for unique decorations or special ingredients for even tastier
The
meals.
license for this could not have been
Friendly
cheap.
hobbits and familiar faces await your arrival when Tales
like
of
a
the
farm
Shire
game.
launches on the Nintendo Switch
That's
system
insane.
this holiday. Investigate, interrogate, checkmate.
Oh, a new
2
one?
Ace Attorney spin-off games,
Oh, wait.
including a sequel that was previously unreleased outside of Japan, are coming to Nintendo Switch as one collection. As the prolific prosecutor Miles Edgeworth, take the case out of the courtroom and investigate crime scenes. Gather information by interviewing people and inspecting evidence. Then use the power of logic to solve challenging cases.
Why you say it like that?
Enjoy all new
power of
hand-drawn character
logic.
visuals from the original series character designer, or swap to the original sprites for a more classic look. Take a break from your investigation to explore the gallery, where you'll find character art, music, including orchestral arrangements, and more. Past and present collide as you uncover the truth at any cost. Ace Attorney Investigations Collection launches on Nintendo Switch September 6th. Pre-orders begin later today on Nintendo eShop.
昨日と変わらない普通の一日。いつもの街、いつもの光景。毎日それが続く。なんだよこれ。なんなんだよ。あ、くそ。
After a devastating attack by unknown assailants, Takumi Samino's life gets turned upside down. A mysterious school mascot suddenly appears. While Takumi manages to get out of harm's way, he's then forced to enroll at the Last Defense Academy, along with 15 other students.
みんなでこの学園を守るんだ。
Their mission is to defend the school from hostile student enemies for 100 days. An academy shrouded in secrecy. And the unavoidable loss of allies. Can Takumi survive this 100-day trial, colored by extreme and despair, and return to his normal life? The creators of Danganronpa present the 100-line Last Defense Academy, launching on Nintendo Switch early next year.
Yeah.
Embark on a saga spanning generations.
Oh?
A full remake of Romancing Saga 2 is marching on to Nintendo Switch. Rule and expand the Empire of Varen across multiple generations, while challenging the legendary 7 heroes who have turned to darkness. In combat, use returning Saga features like glimmers to learn skills, and formations to enhance abilities. Turn-based battles have also evolved into timeline battles, where the action order is key. Innovative features like United Attack can also help with strategy. How will you expand your empire? And in which order will you fight the 7 heroes? Every decision you make will dramatically alter the course of the story. Safeguard your empire's future and protect your legacy from peril. Otherwise, the vengeful 7 heroes may emerge victorious. Romancing Saga 2: Revenge of the 7 launches on Nintendo Switch October 24th.
We hope you're excited to experience the full remake of Romancing Saga 2. That's almost everything for today's Nintendo Direct.
Almost.
Next will be our last announcement. Please take a look.
Here it comes, boys. Oh. Is this Metroid? Oh, it is. Wow. I had to apologize to whoever said I said no Metroid. It's happening. Metroid Prime 4. Beyond. Wow. I thought this was not happening, dude. Next year.
That
Wow.
was a first look at Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. After a very long time, we are finally able to share more information about this title. Release is planned for 2025, so please wait a little bit longer. We hope you're looking forward to Samus Aran's new adventure. That's all for today's Nintendo Direct. Thank you for watching.
Wow. Okay. I would give that show an A. I'd give it an A. That was a really good show. In fact, I don't even know. I don't know what they could have done to get an A plus, like a new Fire Emblem. Yeah, that was a 9 out of 10 show. The only way it was like a 10 out of 10 show would be like if they showed one other thing on par with like Metroid Prime 4 or something like that. That would be like going above and beyond. Like if they had like a FF9 remake or like a Final Fantasy Tactics remaster, that probably would have took it to a 10 out of 10. But that was a solid A for me. I'd give it a 9 out of 10. They had stuff. They had games. They had lots of games. It was 40 minutes of just straight games. A lot of stuff that people are looking forward to. A lot of new stuff. A Zelda game where you actually play as Zelda, like people have been asking for like 3 decades. Fantasian. Dude, Nintendo killed it. Nintendo killed it. No other way to put it. Nintendo went all out. If they announced Final Fantasy Tactics Remastered, it would have been an S. Yeah, I think if they had like one more like that, then I would have been like 10 out of 10. Like one more announcement like that. But I think that like it's like a 9 out of 10 for me, which is still really good. It's still, honestly, to be more frank, Xbox and Nintendo won. The only people who lost is kind of Sony, if I'm honest. This E3, which is very rare, right? Because normally, I'm saying E3 loosely to define the month of June announcements. But yeah, Sony kind of fumbled the bag here. Like, if I'm being honest, like they had the weakest announcements this month. Nintendo and Xbox really killed it, and Sony is just like, dude, what the fuck, right? Like the Xbox Direct that we got and this Nintendo one were so good. The Xbox one was good. Like, you know, come on. Come on. Dude, Sony, that showcase better slap. Dude, we need a PlayStation showcase in the first place. Like, there needs to be a PlayStation showcase, and there needs to be one bad, and there needs to be a really, really good one. And I don't even know what they can show, right? Like, I don't know what's in the pipeline. I'm just gonna make shit up that they need to show. They need to show Ghost of Tsushima 2. By the way, for those curious, I'm still playing Ghost of Tsushima 1 right now on PC. I started with the PC port. They need to put Ghost of Tsushima 2. They need a new God of War. Because the new God of War is in development, and I think Sony Santa Monica is also working on another new game on top of that. They need I don't even know, man. Spider-Man 3 is a while out. They need Bloodborne. Yeah, they need Bloodborne something, right? Because otherwise, I don't know. There's a mess. Anyway, a new Killzone. A Bloodborne would definitely work. Bloodborne remaster or Bloodborne or all the Xbox Ones exclusive? No. But their showcase was good. But for the most part though, Sony has just not really been showing the good stuff. But like Nintendo won and Xbox did really well. Or actually, I don't know if I'd clearly say that like Nintendo won over Xbox. Xbox also had some really good stuff too. Like Xbox also like went really hard on all of its core IPs. Sony's just slacking right now, dude. This was really a really vulnerable time for them to be caught slacking like this. And so I feel like they better come out swinging next time. If that curl can stop falling down, that'd be great. Anyway. Or a new Infamous. They need something, right? But I feel like Sony's kind of dry right now. Like, if I'm just being, I hope that it's a wake-up call for them not to mess around. I mean, game development is like so expensive and long now, especially for AAA. Like, even if it is a wake-up call for them, like, what are they gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Like, they can't make the games any faster. So, yeah, that was a solid direct. Hey, nice guy, just joined. What do you think of the direct? I give it a 9 out of 10. I think it's one of the best Nintendo directs in a long time. I think Sony needs to make a smaller title. Sony's too focused on AAA. I mean, yeah. Azure Calamity, thank you for the super chat. Just here to say Rebirth won't be top this year. I agree. I don't think that there's too much coming out that would win over Rebirth. I don't think we saw anything here that necessarily would win over Rebirth. Metroid Prime 4 is 2025. The only game I can think of or two games I can think of that might put the pressure on Rebirth is Black Myth Wukong and Metaphor Refantizo. Is that how you say Refantizo? That's how I've been saying Refantizo. There's probably a correct way to say it, but that's how I've been saying. Everyone's just like Metaphor. I'm like, no, I said the second part. How do you say? Because it looks like it's spelled Refantasio, right? Fantasio. Anyways, Fantasio. That so does not roll off the tongue though. I'm not saying Fantasio because that shit takes too much effort. So I'm just saying Metaphor. It's Italian, I think. Okay. I just been saying metaphor. Yeah, that's what everyone's just gonna be like metaphor. No one's gonna be like refantasio. No one's gonna say that shit. It just means refantasy. Okay, but see that's even more insane though that they would call it refantasio over just calling it metaphor refantasy. See how much easier that metaphor refantasy. That's like I know they were trying to be fancy with it. It's just, yeah, it would just be easier to say metaphor refantasy. The Italian works with the gothic Christian aesthetic, yeah. Did you see the launch trailer for Dawn Trail? What did you think of it? I did not see that. Is it out? Actually, I haven't watched it. We can watch that. I haven't seen it. Oh. Hold on. Forgot to pull it up. Also, hello, Blitz. Refantasio comes to mind for some reason. Refan Ezio edition. Yeah, it's just too hard to say, bro. It's too tedious.
Well, for once, the fate of the world doesn't rest on our shoulders. We might even get a chance to enjoy ourselves.
Do not be so quick to relax.
Hold on.
Just wait, Papa. When this contest is said and done, it'll be your daughter who sits the throne. Me, Woklamat!
And so does our ship cast off from the docks.
Yeah, I can't wait for Dawn Trail.
In retrospect, of course, that battle against the storm would prove a fitting prelude to the coming contest for the throne.
FF9 will be one game.
Compete in the right of succession.
This looks really good. The graphics update is nice.
Which will decide who takes my place.
Which, by the way, I'll pause it real quick to comment on this. If you guys remember all the other launch trailers, there's usually that ugly, nasty-ass filter that I used to complain about on the launch trailers. You guys remember, like, Endwalker, Shadowbringers. Notice now that the graphics are so good, they don't have to put that weird filter on it anymore to like so that you won't notice how low resolution the textures and everything looks. Yeah, they don't have to do that. You can just look at the game and it looks good.
Dawn Serpent.
We are blessed siblings, the ultimate chosen.
Our nation can change for the better.
I am bound to no one.
Oh, it looks so good.
Woklamat, protector of peace, and soon-to-be Dawn servant.
A waste of time. I can always take what I need later.
Our nation is a fortress, and its people the bricks with which it is built. It is through embracing innovation that we will usher Tuli Yolal onto a more prosperous future.
Dawn Trail looks good, man.
Its people lived as gods, never aging, never dying, free from hardship and conflict.
All this time, it was here, the city of gold.
Christ, this looks good.
Could it be?
This is the best FF14 it's ever looked. God.
Much about the key remains shrouded in mystery.
What in the world is that?
What is this relic of theirs? Who made it? And to what end?
I will be the next Dawn servant, and I'll protect my people's happiness to the last!
Wow.
With your strength, could you have held fast to that which is dear without sacrifice?
Wow, okay. Like, Jesus, man. Of course, they got the comments turned off, but like, okay, the new graphics look so good. Oh my God, dude, that is okay. That has me hyped. I haven't really like known like how to like really feel about Dawntrail quite yet because I'm just like I've been kind of like so on it because I'm like, oh, Endwalker ended good and the post patches haven't been like that crazy, but seeing the new graphics now like extended like this and seeing them in cutscenes, in in-engine cutscenes, the game looks really good now. Like it looks really good. They don't have to put the crap filter on the trailers anymore to like be like, yeah, please don't notice the textures and bad lighting. They can just be like, no, this is actually the game. This is what it looks like. And it looks good. It looks so good. Did you see the screenshot from the live letter inside that giant light dome called Heritage? There's weirdly an out of place fantasy Europe style town that looks exactly like Alexandria from 9. That is fucking interesting. Speaking of 9, someone had asked me if I thought 9 was going to be multiple games. I wanted to answer that in depth. No, I don't think FF9 is going to be multiple games. The reason FF9 is not going to be multiple games is, I mean, just put simply, they're not doing that shit again. They only did it with Final Fantasy VII because they thought that FF7 would, before we got to our current point in time, imagine telling investors, telling the higher-ups, or them discussing, the higher-ups discussing basically the only thing that could be more profitable than one Final Fantasy VII remake, you know, our break glass, if all things go to shit, we'll just remake Final Fantasy VII, right? Well, what if we made 3 Final Fantasy VII remakes, right? That's a lot of money. So, yeah, I don't think FF9 is I don't think that's their plan with FF9. I think FF9 remake is going to be one game, but I also don't think it's going to be like, I don't think it's going to be Final Fantasy VII remake. So if you're expecting Final Fantasy VII remake with Final Fantasy IX remake, then I think you'll be sorely disappointed. Like, it's not going to have that action turn-based hybrid that remake has. I think it's just actually going to be an ATB game, like actually turn-based and actually have an overworld map. This seems to be what a lot of the people who have seen the game seem to be implying, is that it's not a thing like that. It's actually a remake, like unironically, and not a Final Fantasy VII semicolon make. It's just actually like, this is Final Fantasy IX, and this is a remade Final Fantasy IX. So, I don't think it's gonna be that. If you're expecting that, you will probably be fairly disappointed with FF9 remake. I do believe it's going to have voice acting. I think if that's your concern, I don't think you have anything to be concerned about. I think it'll have voice acting. I think it'll have some animated cutscenes. I don't know how crazy they'll go with the number of like fully animated cutscenes. I kind of anticipate that it'll actually keep a fixed camera for some stuff. I'm not sure about that. But yeah. What do you think of an FF8 remake, FF7R style, plus FF6 remake? I don't think that there's ever going to be another remake FF7R style again from Square, period. In fact, I don't think there's ever going to be another FF7R style remake, period, in video games. It's just too high risk to remake one video game in that style. Like with multiple games and to do everything with that volume of content spread throughout like that. I don't think it's ever gonna happen for 6 and 8. I think that 6 and 8 might get remakes in some capacity. I think that's totally possible, but I don't think that it'll be in 7R style. If anything, if classic FF does get remakes, it'll be more like whatever FF9 remake is than like whatever FF7 remake is, because again, it doesn't seem like FF7 remake has blown up the charts in a way that would be like it seems that it hasn't done what final, or it didn't do what Resident Evil 2 did. Right? So what is this? What is this? Are you talking about this one, Crossy?
I mean, メッシュね。ノリのいい音楽ですね。Like nice BGM. これはあれですよ。落ちたら
Oh, let me not cover your should be.
レーザービームみたいなやつでサイコロステーキみたいにカットされるやつでしょ。ジュッて。
And that mesh, probably if you fall off the platform, those are laser. And so
can I skip into the gameplay?
A little bit.
Oh, 喋った。She speaks.
What? This is really cool.
いやーもうなんか嫌だ。言いたくないもういろいろ。
What?
いやー。なるほどなるほど。
Dude, that's pretty tight.
まあこれぐらいは避けられるでしょみんな。大丈夫よね。
Yes, we can evade that much, right?
ほうほうほうほうほう。なるほどな。なるほどなるほどなるほど。研究をし始め
That's really cool. That's really cool. You know, I think I even said before that I was kind of like, I was like, I hope they have like a high tech area. Oh.
はい、ここまでにします。じゃあ生赤メンション。
That's funny. I was saying before that I hope they had like a high tech arena, or not a high tech arena, but like a high tech like area for a future FF14 expansion, and they kind of did that, I guess. Not kind of. They definitely did that with Solution 9, so that's cool. I really like that. I think that's awesome. So anyway, with FF9 remake, future remakes are going to be one game. I don't think that they're going to be doing this multi-game style again. It is just way too expensive and high risk, and they thought that it would be like super profitable for 7, and if 7 is struggling, then I can't imagine like them doing it with a less popular property than their most popular property ever. right? Oh, William, I appreciate it. Yeah, it's just hard for me to imagine like when their most profitable property is not really doing like what it's supposed to be. Also, some of the people from the media tour have said that Yoshi P was honest with them and said, yeah, this is the start of a new multi-year long arc in 14, but nothing is set in stone yet. They will gauge reactions to the story beats in Dawn Trail and go from there in the next expansion. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. You know, I'm excited to see them just like, you know, doing a new story arc in general. So that's exciting. I'm sure that they have some plans. They won't say like, oh, you know. But I'm glad to see that they have a plan. There's plans in place, probably. And we'll see like what those story beats are. Of course, any ongoing story is always going to adapt to however people are reacting. Any anthology series, or not anthology series, any ongoing series is just gonna adapt. So it makes sense. I think that's sensible. Let's watch the Fantasian trailer again.
ダメだ。何にも思い出せない。覚えてるのは自分の名前だけ。俺は俺のやり方で記憶を取り戻す。
運命。古いビブラの言葉でキーナって読むの。またお会いしましたわね。教えてあげましょう。あなたが私に何をしたのか。
死階級の意味を知らぬとは、まさに無知とは罪だな。
ジャシンバム、あいつの好きにはさせない。
あなたたちも心を持ったロボットなのね。ここはどこ？
また貴様か。もう同じことはさせんぞ。
前にもあったね、こんなこと。すごく温かい光だった。
絶望なんかしちゃいない。仲間を助けるっていう希望がある。行くぞ。二人を助け出す。さ
あ、共に全ての世界を救おうではないか。
I wonder what else they added to this game, honestly. Let me see. Okay, here goes the platform confirmation. This is what we were looking for. Switch, PS5 and 4, Xbox Series, and Steam. You know, it sucks if you have like an Xbox One. Because like, people are still making games for PS4. Like, they're still like, oh, we need to put it on PS4. Nobody is like, we need to put that shit on Xbox One. Like, it's still just like, yeah, it's coming to Xbox Series. But Xbox One, ooh. So, yeah, PS4 is still going. You have the English one? Can we listen to the English trailer again?
Embark on a...
Oh, this is just a clip from the thing. I want to see... Oh, they only have that. Okay.
Journey. Fantasy series creator Hironobu comes the turn-based RPG
Damn, the malevolent god?
Skills are the ticket to winning battles. Adjust a skill's trajectory to target multiple enemies at once.
There's no... Hey, that's me. Wow. So they don't even have an English trailer. They only have the Nintendo Direct trailer.
Embark on battles.
I want to hear more of the
Adjust
English
a skill's
voice acting.
trajectory to target multiple enemies at once. You can also send enemies you've encountered to a separate dimension and fight them out.
Let us
go
now. Let us save the world together.
Fantasian Neo Dimension launches.
Oh, man. Do you usually play with English or Japanese voice acting? I usually play with English voice acting. But there are some games that I do play with Japanese, just depends. But normally I will play with English. I'm playing Ghost of Tsushima right now with Japanese voices, but just because that's a more immersive experience for me. But like, if it's like a Persona or something, then I'm playing with English most of the time. Typically though, if I'm doing a second playthrough of a game, then I play with Japanese. So anytime I do any type of like multiple playthroughs, then that's all. Oh, okay. They do have an English trailer. It's on Square Enix.
I really
Let us
don't
defy
know.
Destiny together, vibes. Yeah.
There's my own name.
Oh, here we
I'll find
go.
some way to get my memories back on my own if I have to.
Destiny. My name means destiny in ancient Vibran.
You've got a lot of nerve. Very well then. I'll tell you exactly what you've done.
You haven't a clue what purpose the Macteria serve. Ignorance is the greatest sin.
Damn the malevolent. Whatever he's doing, we've got to stop him.
So you two are robots that possess hearts as well.
Where are we? What's going on?
You again. You've arrived at an excellent time.
It's so strange. I can still feel that light on my body.
We haven't given in to despair. And we won't, as long as there's still any hope of helping our friends. I'll save you, whatever it takes. There's still a chance.
Now, let us determine the fates of this world together.
I like it. I like the voice acting. It's good. This is cringe AF. I'm going with the sub. It's cringe in Japanese too, bro. I hate to break it to you, but anime JRPGs are all they're all kind of cringe, but we like them anyway. You just don't notice it as much when it's in a different language. But then you start learning Japanese and you know what they're saying, and then you're like, oh, well, this is actually still kind of great. It just masks it a little bit better for your brain when it's in a different language. It's the same reason why in Japan they'll put English on stuff, or they'll say English words because yeah, not going to disagree with that. Okay, cool, we're on the same page. I was expecting him to go let us defy destiny together. Yeah. Also too, I'm kind of biased toward that 2000s era voice acting. So, NSC, do you speak Japanese at all? So, speak? Probably not. But I can read. And my listening is decent. But I'm really bad at speaking. The reason I'm bad at speaking is because I don't actually speak to anyone in real life in Japanese. But I've been studying for almost 3 years. But I don't actually have anyone to speak to. I do talk to people in Japanese, but through text and not through voice. So actually, like, what I'm considering is like getting a like an online tutor. But my reading is good. I know pretty much all in 5, 4, and 3 kanji to give you an idea of like where I'm at. My grammar is like beginner into. So I know in 5 through in 3 grammar. So I would probably be considered like an intermediate, I guess, as like a language learner. Basically, I'm at a point where like I can't do like Duolingo or something like that because it wouldn't help me. Like there's nothing on there that it would like be able to teach me. Blitz, you can talk to me in Japanese though, bro. I won't understand and you probably won't improve, but you can just know you can. Thanks, Blitz. You're the best. um, yeah. So that's what I'm probably gonna do. I'm probably gonna get like eventually like a language learning teacher, and that'll be it. Kanji is the hard part. Sounds like you at least need the. I find kanji is the hard part to an extent, but it really helps. It really helps. And after a while, I feel like you see the kanji so repeatedly that it actually gets pretty easy. So the thing about kanji is that like there's a lot of people who do like wanikani and like all this other stuff. What I actually did to learn the kanji is that I have an app where in the app all you do is write the kanji over and over again. That's the app. And you learn the stroke order. So actually I know stroke order. I can't remember the actual kanji. I still have to look at most of them, but I know the stroke order usually of the kanji. Stroke order is actually a lot easier than people make it out to be. Like whenever people like describe stroke order, I'm like, I'm not learning that shit. But actually learning stroke order helps you quite a lot because when you learn the stroke order, you actually learn to memorize the kanji physically. You know, it's kind of like how like you writing words in school over and over again help you memorize the spelling and stuff like that. So kanji wa totemo muzukashii. It can be. It can be. If you remember all the onyomi and kunyomi, it can be pretty challenging, but like the way I approach kanji is that I don't like set out to specifically remember all the onyomi and kunyomi. The way I approach kanji is I just remember the meaning of the kanji, right? And then I do flashcards. And through flashcard, I learn the like furigana, or not the furigana, like I learn the pronunciation of the words and of the kata, the kana behind the kanji in context. So I organically learn the onyomi and kunyomi through just learning the kanji and its meaning first, and then going back and then learning the actual words that the kanji uses, and then being like, oh, okay, now I know the readings of that kanji. So that makes perfect sense. I know some people that have used games to learn Japanese. If I recall correctly, Dragon Quest games in Japanese offer two options, the kanji and the simplified. Yeah. The Dragon Quest games are really good. Really, really good for that, actually. I like, in my personal opinion, like if you should read like the simplified language, or if you should read it with like kanji, in my opinion, the best thing you can do is try to read Japanese like as it's written, and not be like, and not try to like rely too much on the simplified. Like you can use the simplified stuff when you're a beginner, like when you're first starting out in 5, you know, like 3 kanji, and you're still like learning the fundamentals, and you have hiragana and stuff like that. Then yeah, I would say go ahead and learn, or go ahead and use this like the simplified stuff. But I think after a certain point, you need to just use the kanji, because one of the ways that you actually learn the kanji and that they get burned into your head is that you see them a lot over and over again, and then you learn that word, or you learn that connection to that kanji, and you're like, oh, that means that. And so I do actually recommend exposing yourself to it as frequently as possible, so that those words get burned into your head and that meaning gets burned into your head. Because remember, you got 2,000 kanji to learn, right? So you need to see that shit as often as humanly possible. And of course, that's also how a person growing up in Japan would also learn those kanji, right? Because even though they're starting out with, you know, kana, they're also seeing kanji on signs, right? Like you know, if you see like an entrance signs that says Iriguchi and the exit sign says Deguchi, like you know that like, oh, it's entrance and exit, and that eventually like you learn those symbols, and then your brain kind of interprets what that means, and you're like, oh, okay, it means that and that means that. And so don't judge my pronunciation of anything. Like I said, I strictly am able to process the input. Me outputting is like whatever. Depends on what materials. Games often have the same kanji, but if you take shoujo manga, I think I just read that. I was able to learn basic katakana by playing Japanese version of Naruto Ultimate Ninja. I learned katakana when I was way younger. And like learning katakana is how I got through Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix on PS2. So, because I didn't use the English patch or anything for that game. So, I mean with Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, that was an interesting game because that game was like English voice acting, Japanese text. And so if you were playing Final Mix in Japan, you had to use English voice acting in Japanese. So all you had to do was just read the Japanese, bro. Real easy. You ever think about taking the JLPT to have that certificate for yourself? Maybe. I think if I ever got to like a really proficient level that I was just super confident that I could like go and like nail it, I would. But it's not like a goal that I necessarily have, but like it is something that I do think about just to have it, you know, as a qualification, you know, just to be able to say, hey, look, I got that thing on me. You know. All right. I think we're gonna end the stream here for today. What an incredible direct. Solid A for me. Really, really, really good direct. And yeah, it's just awesome. All right. I will see you guys all later this week. We'll do another stream talking about some stuff that I have planned.